when you realize you're totally disqualified. You don't deserve God. God says, right, now we're talking. You don't deserve it, but I'll give myself to you. And if you think you're worthy, if you think God deserves you, you don't get it. You don't understand it. See, that's what religion does. Religion says God's power comes to the strong. And the stronger you are, the better you do, the harder you try, the more improved you make yourself, God's power will start to flow through you. But when you screw up, make big mistakes, you've lost it. No, God says actually, when you realize what a big screw up you are, what a failure you are, and you're broken about it, and you're saying, God, I just don't deserve you, that's when we're the closest. That's when I can really work. Remember, that's what Isaiah said. If you've ever read Isaiah chapter 57, verse 15. I, the high and lofty one, I, the almighty, I, the great one, who does nothing wrong, but I love to dwell. I draw near. I fellowship with those who are broken and contrite heart. I can work with such people because I realize I've got no one else. You're the only one. I can't save myself, God. Yes, exactly. You get it. You can't save yourself. I save you. And all through your life, you cling to the old rugged cross. I love that song. Did you notice? Till at last I lay my trophies down. Till at last. I mean, you've got to keep working on it till you get it. Put your trophies down and cling to Christ. All your life. Every day of your life. The gospel's not just the A, B, C. It's the A to Z of the Christian life. It's all of life. And finally, there is also here a great word of courage for scared people. There are so many people are scared, full of fear, live their life in fear. And sadly, many of the followers of Jesus do as well. I mean, these people had to be said, don't be alarmed, don't be afraid, this is just what he said would happen. But they're absolutely scared. And they were totally scared of their mandates, scared of their missions, scared of suffering, scared of loss. I mean, why do you think Peter did desert Jesus? He was scared, full of fear. A lot of people were just plain scared of life, scared of losing something, scared of loss, scared of, if I do this, if I stand up for Jesus, I might lose my friends. I might lose my job. I might lose health. I might lose my life. I lose, and I can't afford to lose. And it holds fear over us because what are we saying? This world is all I've got. That's it. And if I lose anything in this life, I've lost forever. Well, Mark's words here, this report of what Jesus said to the angel is challenging that view. Why are you scared? Anything you lose, you will regain. Anything you lose in this life, you will regain. That's what resurrection is about. Do you believe in a resurrection? That you, if you're a follower of Jesus, just as Jesus has been raised, you too will be raised. So if you have lost health, you will regain health. If you have lost a limb, you will regain a limb. If you have suffered loss through disability, you will one day be fully able. If you have lost loved ones, you will regain loved ones. You will have anything you lose, you regain in resurrection. And Jesus is the living proof. Because Jesus died and rose again, not for himself. Jesus didn't have to become a man and die and rise again because he needed to for himself. This isn't for him. This is for you. He died for you. He rose for you. He's the first fruits. He's the prototype, first type of the new human. Because God is showing that's what's going to happen to you. Or you who put your trust in Jesus, you may lose, but you will gain. You will be resurrected to a whole new world with a new body and a new life, and all will be renewed and regained. You do not lose anything. I don't know if you've read this before, but Joni Erickson, the woman who suffered from a diving accident, or quadriplegia, she wrote some beautiful things on this very thing. Let me read to you some of the things she wrote about the personal benefit to her and the courage it gave her to face her suffering and loss by thinking about the resurrection. And she said, Sitting there, I was reminded about this, that I will be free one day to jump, to dance, to kick, to do aerobatics. And though I'm sure Jesus will be delighted to watch me rise on tiptoe, there's something I plan to do that may please him all the more. If possible, somewhere, sometime before the party gets going, sometime before the guests are called to the banquet table, the first thing I plan to do on my resurrection legs is to drop on grateful, glorified knees before Jesus. Elsewhere she writes, I can scarcely believe it. I, with shriveled, bent fingers, atrophied muscles, gnarled knees, and no feeling from my shoulders down, will one day have a new body, light, bright, and clothed in righteousness, powerful and dazzling. Can you imagine the hope this gives me? Can you imagine the hope the resurrection gives some spinal cord injured person like me? Or someone who has been cerebral palsy, or brain injured, or has multiple sclerosis? Imagine the hope it gives it to someone who is manic depressive. No other religion, no other philosophy promises new bodies. Only in the gospel of Christ do hurting people find such incredible hope. Do you get it? Are you prepared to spit at loss? Are you prepared to spit and laugh at the threat of losing something? Maybe your health, maybe your good looks, maybe your reputation, maybe your job, maybe even your life. Maybe you'll get told you will die in a few weeks' time. Will you be scared, witless? Or will you, in one sense, be sad and able to laugh at the same time? And I believe that's a true Christian response, to cry and laugh at the same time. To cry at losing, but at the same time laugh knowing what you will gain. That's what resurrection's about. That's why so many Christians lost their life for this doctrine. That's why during the times of the killings in Scotland, when people were going to the scaffold knowing their head would be chopped off, they were singing hymns as they climbed the ladder. Because they realized, you cannot rob me of what Jesus has gained for me. How do I know this is real? You don't live and die and laugh at the face of death in believing in a myth or in some symbol or in some dream, because Jesus rose. It's real. It's historical. It's fact. It's rooted in history. It happened. People saw it. And a whole movement exploded. And we're here today because of it. A living Jesus who still deals with us. So will you open your mind? Will you open your heart to receive this good news? Will you open your life and enjoy and embrace the here and now, as well as looking forward to a bright future? Will you work for Jesus knowing that your labour is not in vain? It can't be in vain. Because Jesus is assuring us there will be a whole new world just fit and ready for your resurrected bodies. Will you give your life to Jesus? We're going to celebrate communion